Welcome, everyone, to the Newvision Oldways podcast, a greatly ambitious journey of discovery where we can all learn to live better, mentally healthier, and more fulfilling lives. If you're just discovering us, feel free to go back and take the journey from the beginning. And if you're already a Newvision Oldways fan, welcome back and enjoy season
5.
And now, here is your host, Tony Marinaccio.
You are listening to Newvision Oldways, the podcast that explores timeless wisdom for the modern mind in a fun, relaxed, and most important, interactive way with you, the listener. I am your host, Tony Marinaccio, and let's get the episode started. Welcome, Visioneers, to a special episode that I can honestly say is the culmination of the last year and a half and my recent experience at the Podcast Movement 2025 event in Dallas. This episode is a special one because as you listen, I challenge you to put yourself in my shoes and insert your own dreams into what I am saying and relate this entire experience that I'm going to be talking about to something that you would love to come to fruition in your own life. By the end of this episode, my hope is that you find the inspiration to start on a similar path that I did. Throw a little caution to the wind, as they say, and start your own journey of capturing the excitement for what can only be described as a passion work, a work that doesn't feel like work because it's something that stirs your soul. I know that talking about dreams is a bit, whatever. I've heard this a million times before, you might say. Why is this any different? Great question, and I'm glad I'm making believe that you asked. So I am a real life example of how a stirring in me resulted in a dream, which then resulted in research that resulted in a podcast, which led to a website and a blog and an unlimited palette for me to do whatever I want on and get my creative side out there for anyone to see and hear. My journey is an unlikely one that I hope will inspire you to get out there and leave your own mark on the world. It's in you. It's in all of us. We just have to find that spark that gets the engine going and allows us to drive down the path that can lead to anywhere we want to take it. The journey of discovery is at the heart of this, and the light bulbs that come on once the journey is in full swing will light your way down roads you never thought were possible to go down. Let that inner child out and let it be your guide. The journey starts here with the start of Season 5 and Episode 42. Dreams Don't Expire, a story of starting where you are.
There is a sacred, often overlooked truth hiding in plain sight. You already have something worth building with. Not someday, not when you've acquired more money, more knowledge, more followers, or more validation. Right now, in this moment, you have something in your hands. A skill, an idea, a relationship, a story, a heartbeat, that carries the seeds of your next level. But here's the twist. The world has taught us to ignore what's in our hands and to obsess over what's out of reach. We live in a culture addicted to the chase. The next promotion, the next breakthrough, the next version of ourselves. Cleaner, richer, sharper, more polished. We scroll past curated lives and start believing that until we look like that, we can't start. That lie becomes a cage. It convinces us that we're always behind, always missing something, always one step away from ready. But readiness isn't a destination, it's a decision.
That was an excerpt from a book by Kelvin W. Nathan. And in that clip, you heard about the lie that you hear all the time. Whether it's from outside noise or your own mind playing tricks on you, telling you that you are not ready, not good enough, not smart enough to go after your dreams. The time is never right. Well, that is in fact a lie, and this episode will help prove that point. I want to take you on a journey with me, a journey that is interchangeable with your life, your dreams, your soul-stirring ideas. Use me as the tour guide, but use your inner self as the leader that only you can and should follow. As I tell you my story, let your story take over. Set your soul free to find what moves you, what excites you, and don't worry about what anyone else thinks. This will be your dream, not theirs. Your inner self is real, but only real to you. Let it speak to you. Let it guide you. Let it show you the way. My journey began a long time ago, but I will cut to one very important event that happened to me that changed everything: my divorce. Yes, that thing that happens to so many people. Some people can get through it with relative ease, while others, including myself, can go down a pretty dark path. A path that I put myself on. Why? Because I hate to fail at anything in life. No matter what the circumstances were behind the failure of the marriage, no matter who or what was to blame, I took it all on myself, and I brought myself to a very dark and lonely place. But eventually I broke out of that dark place and slowly started to realize there is a lot of life left in me, and the possibilities were endless. But where to begin? What will I do? What path will I go down? Those questions lingered until I finally realized what I was missing. What I was missing was the ability to have an outlet for my creativity, an outlet that could support my varying interests, an outlet that I could control, an outlet with unlimited possibilities. After soul searching, I realized podcasting. Yes, podcasting could be my catalyst, a base camp for all of my interests. I had radio experience. I did have mobile DJ experience for many years. I had writing experience. I had music experience. I had life experience. And the logical way to get all of that out of my system seemed to be podcasting. I was in control of how it turned out. I was in control of what I said, what I wrote, and eventually what I will play. Yes, play. I knew that I needed a website to pull it all together. But first, how to get a podcast out there. I didn't have a clue. Not one, not even a small one. So the research began and the rabbit hole was dug, and I was going down in it, but more on that later. Fast forward to August 2025 and the podcast movement event. I arrived in Dallas, Texas, not knowing exactly what to expect from this event. It was my first of this kind, and needless to say, again, I didn't have a clue. So I read the schedule, looked over the sessions, and even connected with a few fellow podcasters beforehand, but nothing could really prepare me for the event itself, other than getting there, jumping into it full force, and feeling the energy of the space. The hotel that hosted the event was buzzing. Of course, we were just one of the events being held there, but there is something special about being around other creatives. It's a bond that is clearly different. People filled with passion, ambition, stories, and a willingness to put themselves out there, for better or for worse. People of all backgrounds, from hobbyists with a mic in their closet to full-blown media professionals with networks behind them. And in between, people like me. Possibly people like you, people who said, I have something to say, and decided to say it, even if they weren't sure how it would all unfold. The conference sessions were phenomenal, touching on all things podcasting, but the real magic at times was in the hallways, was in the coffee lines, in the one-on-one conversations with people who understood the calling of the mic. For you, you could have a completely different calling, but what is it? Have you used the techniques that I've gone through in many of these episodes to get in touch with that inner voice that will tell you? It could be podcasting. It could be cooking. It could be volunteering. It could be woodworking. What is it? What is calling you? If you would just listen to that voice, you will hear it. Now, back to the conference. I was able to meet people that I would never have met anywhere else. People that on paper were so different than me, but in spirit, we were the same. Kindred spirits, if you will. I left each day a little more filled up than the last, filled with the knowledge, filled with connections, and most importantly, filled with the motivation to see what the next day would bring. By the end of it, I didn't just feel inspired, I felt equipped. And right there, I want to take a pause for a moment and speak directly to those of you who listen, who might be thinking, yeah, Tony, that's all great for you, but I've got a job. Mortgage, kids, responsibilities. I'm not in my 20s anymore. That ship has sailed. Well, let me tell you something. That ship hasn't sailed. It's still docked, and it's just waiting for you to climb aboard. Remember that rabbit hole I mentioned earlier in the show? Well, let's get back to that. Sometimes before you can board that ship I just mentioned, you need to do the pre-work, the work that gives you the confidence to take that next step. The key here is to also realize you don't need to know everything. You don't need things to be perfect. You just need enough knowledge to get on the ship and start sailing. And remember, another big key here is getting over the fear of not knowing exactly where you are going. The biggest thing is to just get started and realize you need to get comfortable with the idea that the destination you start towards may not be where you end up. But you could never have gotten there without just simply starting. The joy of the journey needs to be embraced, not feared. Fear closes your mind. It puts energy and focus on the fear, not on the possibilities that surround you. Fear can shut doors, while keeping an open mind can open doors you never knew existed. So many of us, especially as we get older, begin to question whether we are too late, whether we have missed our shot, whether we should just be realistic. But here's the truth, and folks, I am proof of it. Your dream doesn't care how old you are. Let me repeat that. Your dream doesn't care how old you are. It doesn't care if you are working full-time or juggling responsibility. It just wants you to take that next step forward. That is what going to podcast movement represented for me. It was the next step. Taking even one small step creates momentum. You don't need to know how everything is going to unfold. You hear that, you fellow control freaks, you? Just so you know, I'm talking to myself on that one too. You don't need a 5-10-year plan or a massive following. You just need to get moving, to show up, to take a risk on yourself. That might mean registering for a conference, going to a meeting, taking a course in person or online, at home in your underwear with a glass of wine next to you. Not that I've ever done that, but it might mean buying that microphone or that special saw or that new computer to write with. It might mean publishing that first episode or writing that first blog post. Or it may mean telling someone, hey, I've got this idea, whatever it is. Don't ask if they think it's a good idea. Ask if they have any suggestions on whatever it is that could make it better. Eliminate the negative response anywhere that you can. The point is, action builds clarity. Movement creates momentum. When I walked through those conference halls in Dallas, I realized I wasn't just at an industry event. I was standing in the middle of a movement of people who dared to believe that their voice mattered, that their story was worth telling. And that is what I want for you. Whether it's podcasting, cooking, competitive tennis, woodworking, or anything else that stirs your soul, but that dream is just sitting quietly on a shelf. Grab it, dust it off. Take a step and let yourself feel what it's like to be a beginner again, to be excited again. At one point during the event, I stood in the middle of the main room it was hosted in, and I couldn't help but reflect back to the time when the idea of a podcast, the idea of a website with a blog was just a pipe dream, when I had no idea how to begin. And at that moment, there I was at an industry event and feeling like I was completely immersed in the thing that only a year and a half ago I was just starting to dig that rabbit hole I keep referring to. And it all started with that first step, that first blog, that first feeling of, hey, I can actually do this. My challenge to you is find what you are passionate about by listening to your inner self. Get alone, meditate, listen. It will tell you. Then get prepared, but remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just take that first step. Honestly, write those first words, cook that first meal, carve that first piece of wood. Stay at it until it feels like it's clicking in. Failure is the teacher, not an end. Go ahead. Fail. It's okay. Just learn from it. Begin the journey. Don't tell anyone if that works better for you. Just do it. It's for you, not them anyway. My encouragement to you today, from someone who walked through that experience and came out the other side fired up with a renewed vision, is this. If you have a dream, it's still waiting for you. If you are feeling stuck, take one step, any step. Get momentum building. If you think you are too old, you are not. If you are afraid it's too late, it isn't. Whether you are like me and holding a microphone or holding on to hope, keep going, keep moving forward, and keep those eyes and ears aware of your surroundings and squash that blinding fear. You can do it. Just start. You have to start. It's the only way. The best time to start acting on a dream is right now, right where you are. It's the perfect time. So, after much deliberation and some spirited conversations that were had as to what to call our tribe of people looking for that new vision for their lives, it seems pretty clear to me, and I mentioned it in passing at the beginning, that we could be collectively called the Visioneers. People that are engineering a new vision for their lives. on our own terms, under our complete control. Yes, we are the Visioneers. So what can all you Visioneers be expecting with this podcast? Well, for approximately the next 3 episodes, I will be airing a conversation with my friend, Dr. Mary Teedy, a psychology professor, and we dig into a territory that I can only say is a timely, sensitive, and seemingly vast subject matter that I know will touch the hearts and minds of many people for one reason or another. So my suggestion is, do not miss it, and this series will start soon. So stay tuned for that. And a little hint here is that I am stepping way out of my comfort zone on this one, so get ready for that. It will be some interesting and great stuff ahead. Season 5 will be different. It will take the show to a higher place, and I will be shaking those cages we sometimes find ourselves in. It's going to be a fun ride for sure. So, what did you think of this episode or any of the episodes? I would love to find out. And here is where to get a hold of the show and let us know. These are in the show notes, but as always, here they are. As I announced last season, the new NewvisionOldways.com website is up and running. Check out all the episodes, the Revelations blog and news page, a subscription link, as well as a link that you can click on that will allow you to donate to the show and show your support. By donating what you can, it will allow me to book guests, cover costs, anything will help. And of course, you can cancel anytime. You can also message the show from each episode on your various platforms. Just look for the send us a text message link. If that doesn't work for you, you can email us at newvisionoldways@gmail.com. You can find us on what was Twitter, now X, and that's at Newvision Old Way. There's no S on that one. At Newvision Old Way. Check out the Newvision Old Ways YouTube channel. Just type in Newvision, one word, Old Ways, one word channel, and please subscribe. It is free and will show support for the show. It really means a lot and will help grow the show on YouTube. Find us on Facebook, Newvision Old Ways Podcast. You should find us easily there. And as a reminder, these are still, after all this time, growing platforms for us and expanding all the time. So we need your help to get the flow going with the community. And last but not least, if you could do me a huge favor and subscribe to us, like us, follow us, leave a review on whatever platform you found us on, that would be so appreciated. That will also help secure guests that we will be booking in the future. So, Visioneers, welcome to what will be the best season yet, season number 5. I can't wait to get your input. I also can't wait until we get together for the next episode of New Vision, Old Ways. Until then, stay true to yourself, stay informed, and stay empowered.
But the most important thing is,
This episode and all the episodes of New Vision Old Ways podcast have been written, engineered, and produced by Tony Marinaccio and TKM Productions.